Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to this apocalyptic edition of Gen X Thinks. Today we're going to talk about Gen X's favorite apocalypse, and this is Volume 4, Zombies. The topic of zombies is kind of broad now. When we were kids, they were just zombies and they ate brains and, they shuffled around like this. But as time goes on, they keep adding more and more kinds of zombies to our list. I could probably do a video on each zombie, but for now, I'm just going to do one video and just lightly touch on each kind of zombie. The most popular zombie is the walker, the regular slow moving, mindless zombie of that kind, like the show Walking Dead. They're probably some kind of virus creates them, something like that, and it spreads pretty quickly because they're not chasing people down and killing people rapidly, so that their zombie virus has to spread quickly. So there are a whole lot of walker zombies normally. The next ones are the quick, smart zombies. First time I remember seeing those was that video game Left 4 Dead, and it had a hand up like this and with the missing thumb, I think, if I remember correctly. Those kind of zombies are smart and fast, move around like a cat and jump at you. There can't be a whole lot of them because they would just exterminate the human race. So only a few of those, but they would kill most of the human race, and only the toughest people would be the survivors or the smartest or the luckiest or whatever, and they would be fighting these few zombies. And the newest kind of zombie is the mushroom zombie, and they come from that show The Last of Us, which was a video game. I personally think that the mushroom zombie is the most likely of all of them because that comes from the cordyceps fungus, which is a real thing. There are zombies. There are mushroom zombies. That's a real thing. And I'll put pictures up to show the result of these things. Now, as of right now, they only infect insects. They'll infect an ant and take over its brain and then make the ant climb up a tree or whatever, a weed or whatever, climb up to its highest place it can, and then it latches on to the limb or the stalk or whatever, and then this fruiting head of the fungus busts out of its head and releases its spores. Yeah, it's crazy. But there are zombies. There are mushroom zombies. They're just insects right now. But who's to say that scientists don't have some of these in a lab, and these cordyceps fungi, and they're genetically modifying them to affect other organisms? Or who's to say that the thing won't evolve to affect other organisms on its own? So that's just the fact that thing already exists is wild to me. The first time I saw that on one of those nature documentaries, I saw that cordyceps fungus. It just blew my mind. I was like, "Holy crap! This is an actual zombie. It's an insect, a bug, but still." So we got the mushroom zombies, and they're slow like the original zombies, the shuffling walkers. But they sprout those and release those spores, so it's an airborne thing. So you don't have to be bitten by one of those zombies. All you have to do is breathe in one of those spores. Now, I don't know if you can be immune to spores. I don't know. It's not a virus. It's a fungus. Your mushroom zombies spread by fungus spores. Your viral zombies, right, was spread by some kind of virus, which we know that virus is all over the place now. The probability of that one, I don't know, probably less than the mushroom zombie, because I just don't see a virus, nothing else. There's no viral zombies even in the insect world or anything, you know what I mean? That's just not, there's no precedent for that. That's just something people made up in their minds, a fiction. So I don't know. I think that is actually less of a probability than the mushroom zombies. And those are basically the only ways, unless people someday with that, getting chips implanted in their brains, maybe that will be mass produced and a massive popular thing one day, and there can be computer zombies. I guess that could be a thing one day. It's not very probable right now because nobody's got the chips in their head, but one day it might that could be possible. In the event of a zombie apocalypse, how would you want to deal with that? The first thing you'd want to do is get away from densely populated areas, because that's where most of the zombies are going to be. Highly infected areas, big cities and stuff like that. You have a better chance of surviving if you're by yourself away from the zombies. That just makes sense, right? And you'd want to be skilled with some kind of way to kill them that's not, that doesn't use bullets, because you can't just keep finding all these bullets. With millions of zombies, you can't just keep shooting zombies all the time. Eventually you're going to run out of bullets somewhere, and then you're going to have to go to something else. Or you want the bullets to hunt and get food, and then use something else, some reusable thing, a sword or something, to kill zombies. So there's that. If I had one 30-round magazine of ammunition left, I would not want to waste them all on zombies. I'd want to kill the zombies in some other way, and then use the ammunition in a more important place, if possible. But avoiding infection would be as important as just surviving, not getting killed. So you'd have to think about that in the event of a zombie apocalypse. You definitely have to avoid infection, which might mean respirators and, whatever, depending on the situation, depending on the zombies, whether the virus or the spores are airborne or whatever. And after things start to settle down and people adjust to this zombie thing, I think that small rural towns would be the new norm. They would congregate together. People would band together for protection in small towns to protect themselves, to get away from the large populations of zombies, and to defend themselves if they were attacked by zombies or other people. And your rock stars would probably be like your traders and your scavengers who would travel between these towns to trade and gather supplies. And they would carry news back and forth, almost like medieval bards. They'd travel from town to town and, spread news, trade goods, stuff like that. And they would be probably very popular people and welcome in every place. But they would have a very dangerous job. They would be the ones out there wandering around looking for stuff and going from town to town. Now, zombies are a very fictional thing, it's a very low probability of that happening, but it's fun to talk about. It's fun to think about, what would happen if zombies. And that's more what this series of videos is about, just to have fun talking and thinking about stuff. Because I remember the evolution of zombies. I mean, when we were kids, that's all we had was the slow brain eaters, brains. And I remember being afraid of that. Like one day I'd have to that would be a threat one day, when I was a little kid. But now throughout time, people with our imaginations, we've come up with all these different kinds of zombies. I've probably missed a couple. I don't know. There might be more types of zombies that I'm unaware of. But it's cool to see the evolution of the zombie throughout time, And then they make such a cool show like The Walking Dead, and that was pretty much a throwback to the original zombie. That was, they were the zombies in Walking Dead didn't eat brains, but still, they were the same shuffling, kind of mindless zombies, which makes for a good show. That the fast ones that'd be hard. That'd be hard surviving those faster, smarter ones. I don't want to face those. I'd rather have the slow, dumb ones. All right. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by clicking on the super thanks button down below this video. Or you can head on over to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I'll put that link down in the description. We also have some pretty cool Gen X gear over at Redbubble. All kinds of stuff. Stickers, t-shirts, all Gen X branded, and Gen X Thinks stuff over there. We got some pretty cool stuff over there if you're interested. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out a lot, and I'd like to thank those of you who have already done so. I appreciate it. And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comment section, or you can email me and the email address is on the channel page. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.